welcome back to my channel. My name is Souji. This is part of a series on my trip to Greece and Turkey with Celebrity Silhouette. We are now on day 4 of this trip. If you haven't seen the last few videos about this trip, you can check them out here. Today's port is Mykonos. We docked right outside Mykonos Old Town, and the cruise was providing shuttles between the ship and Mykonos Old Town. Although we didn't take advantage of that because we ended up booking a tour through Celebrity Cruises for this port. So first we hopped on a ferry to the abandoned island of Delos, which is like the sister island of Mykonos. Delos used to be a bustling port city, and it was instrumental to trade because back when trade routes ran through this part of the sea, they would stop in Delos to refuel or to take a break. But it's now uninhabited because of a variety of factors, including conquerors and also trade routes not really running past Mykonos anymore. So over time, people just left the island. So now we get to basically see a bunch of ruins of what this city used to look like when it was inhabited. I think it's been empty since around 700 AD, so most of the city has crumbled down, but we could still, when we were walking through it, see which structures were homes, which ones were markets, etc. As you can see, we were slowly walking through the city, and it seemed first like a bunch of rubble, but slowly it started to come together when you could see the floor decorations and some stairs, and you could even see remnants of like bathrooms, marketplaces, theaters. So seeing this first floor decoration was the moment when I started being able to visualize that this used to be a house, and that outside was kind of like a walkway, and that there was a house across it. So there was like a clear path of where we were walking. So it was basically the old route that people would have taken from the port up into the city because it was kind of built up into the rock. After this tour, we got back on the ferry to go to Mykonos Old Town, and it got pretty rocky. The boat was really just moving from this side to that side, and a lot of people were getting a little nauseous. This is a good tip. If you are seasick for this entire Greece and Turkey trip, if you go, you need to take seasick pills, because not just on the cruise, but outside, a lot of the ways to just get around the islands is by ferry. So you're going to end up on a ferry a lot. On this trip, it just felt like we were getting off a big boat and onto a little boat multiple times. Once we got to Mykonos Old Town, we walked through it first for about 15 to 20 minutes. It is quite small, so we were able to walk from one end to the other. And then we saw the iconic windmills that are part of the Jason Bourne movie, I think. After that point, we were given some time to explore on our own, so we really got lost in the streets. I ended up buying one of the iconic Mykonos blue dresses there, which I later wore for Comic-Con, and people asked me if I was dressed as a fairy or something, but it was really just like a dress I got in Mykonos. For lunch, we ended up getting back in the bus and driving deep into the island of Mykonos to this small village at the top, where we were fed like a traditional Greek feta salad, some wine, and I was served like an eggplant dish as my main. That is one thing that happened a lot during this trip. Whenever I told them I was vegetarian, I ended up just getting served eggplant. The salads in Greece were amazing though. Like, the ingredients they were using were so fresh. It was nothing like what I've had at Greek restaurants here in New York City. Like, the olives just had so much depth of flavor, and the tomatoes were so sweet. So I think now I really know why Greece is world renowned for their food and their ingredients after visiting. For a dessert, they gave us Greek yogurt with honey, so overall a very traditional Greek meal. But again, their Greek yogurt and their honey was just so much better than anything I've had here. The restaurant also hired some performers to entertain us while we ate, and he ended up dragging us into the dance too, which of course I don't have a video of because I was the one dancing. But he was pretty relentless in his performances. Like, at one point the restaurant manager had to come out and say like, please tell him to stop, like, we need to serve the food and we can't do that if he's dancing and blocking our way. There was one phrase we learned that day and throughout the Greek trip. It was oppa. The traditional Greeks do it when they, like, I think smash a plate on the ground. They yell oppa and then smash it. So on the cruise later, it was really funny because despite everyone doing completely different tours on the boat, every time someone would accidentally drop cutlery or a plate in the dining room, everyone in the surrounding area would yell, "Oppa!" So after that, we ended up going back to the ship. And overall, I would say Mykonos was very pretty. I don't know if I would go back though, because I'm not a big nightlife person, and I think the only thing there is to do there is like get lost in the blue streets, which I did already, and go to the nightlife. So I think it would probably be a good destination for like a bachelor party, bachelorette party, but not as much for people who are travelers instead of vacationers, if you get what I mean. So the next video is going to be about Santorini. So leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.